We need to talk about Space Marine 2 because this game is shattering all records and it is showing us once again that there is a huge appetite out there for games just for the sake of being games. If you give us a game that is some microtransaction hell with everything bit piecemeal, all that crap, we don't want it. We want games that are there for one primary reason, for fun. We want to play a game, have a good experience, and yeah, you can put microtransactions in, you can do that, but it is essential that you give the bulk of the game to the gamers, and guess what? They play your game. So we need to look at some stats here because Space Marine 2 is breaking all records. It is actually insane. You guys know I'm a massive fan of this game. If you're a Warhammer 40k fan, you need to play this game. If you're not, go and check out some videos. Maybe watch the one I put on the channel a couple of days ago. Go and watch some streams on Twitch. You'll get the notion of this game really fast. You're just a massive killing machine. And the way it is done, it is so goddamn good. It is a game for just being a game. I love it. So let's take a look at some stats then. This is SteamDB. It is Space Marine 2. It has, as of me taking this screenshot, which is as I'm making this video, which is like sometime in the early afternoon in the UK on the 10th of September, it has got 155,000 people playing. It has had, though, crucially, a peak of 225,690, which is massive, but also it is record-breaking. Space Marine 2 now is the highest played game ever, and I mean ever, in the Warhammer universe on Steam. This is a massive, massive milestone, and I think you can probably extrapolate this out and just say it is the most played Warhammer 40k game, and this should be showing Games Workshop that if you give your license to an actual good studio, you know, much of like, you know, you can say what you like about Creative Assembly, but Total War Warhammer, that's been really well over the years. It's done really well for them. That was the previous record holder. But Saber Interactive have given us a game which is absolutely insane. It is not some garbage, mobile, stupid game full of like, I don't know, ridiculous microtransactions and just crap and whatever. The reason why I was saying extrapolate it out as well is maybe some of those mobile games, they could probably say they've got more players. I don't know how they work these things out. But all we care about is Steam and actual games, not some stupid bloody, you know, freemium, pay-to-win load of crap on mobile. But look at these figures, guys. Look at this. So Space Marine is now, or Space Marine 2 is now the all-time highest Warhammer game ever with that 225,690 concurrent plays. Insane. I mean, that is actually massive. I mean, it's almost, well, it's not really 100,000 more, but Total War Warhammer 3, that only achieved 166,000, and then you start going down the list, and you see games like Darktide, that did really well as well. It shows you the strength of 40k, although that game had problems. It wasn't nowhere near as polished as Space Marine 2 is, which is one of the things Space Marine 2 has done really well. The game out of the gate works. You can play the game, and it's great. It isn't some sort of mess, some technical like hellhole where it just doesn't even run. I know there are some frame rate issues here and there, especially weirdly on the PS5. For some reason, the Xbox Series X is actually faster than the PS5. Normally, it's the other way around. But whatever. On PC, I've had a good experience, but you know, I'm an absolute dickhead, and I'm rocking around with a 4090 and all the rest of the gubbins that goes with it. So like whatever. But yeah, performance has been fine for me, but the game itself has just been solid, and the game has worked. Darktide, I don't think could really kind of say that. That had some serious performance issues, at least for me. But you guys can go down the list here, and you can see it. All of these games are like, you know, really good Warhammer games. Some of them are quite old. Some of them, you know, I just think it's quite obvious why Space Marine 2 is sitting at the top of this pile. You can also see probably the best Warhammer 40k game. I mean, I know I've come out and said Space Marine 2 is the best, but I mean, there'd be a big fight, wouldn't there, between Dawn of War, the first one. Although I did like Dawn of War 2, actually. Dawn of War 3, not a big fan of that. But Dawn of War, what a game that was. We need to bring back RTS games. But the moral of the story here is, guys, if you're Games Workshop, make more games like Space Marine, which means give your IP to studios that know what the hell they're doing, and they're not just going to make some horror show game. Space Marine 2 is incredible. But this means we need to look at what the hell is going on with Space Marine 2, though, because it's a little bit more complicated than just it looks good, so people are playing it. So also, on the topic of fair microtransactions and all of that, Space Marine 2 isn't completely immune to all of this stuff. There is a plague which has been affecting gaming for a while now, and it's the $100 version which gets you access to the game early, which is actually the launch of the game. They just delay the launch and then it's cheaper. So if you want to play the game a week before, you need to go and buy the stupid super duper edition. This happens with a load of games. It's going to happen with Call of Duty. It's happened with World of Warcraft recently as well. And obviously Space Marine have gone through that now. Obviously the game's now in general release. That's why we've seen the spike of players as opposed to when it was first playable. But still, I don't agree with that. It's shitty and it's just a way of trying to rinse your most dedicated and loyal fans that are really looking forward to your game. They will shell out for what? To get to play the game a few days early because they don't want to fall behind? It's horrible. It's a disgusting tactic, and it absolutely needs to stop. But yeah, Space Marine, I'm not happy that you've done it. I'm not happy. So what's going on with Space Marine 2 then? Why is everyone playing it? Why has it got good, like, well, better than good concurrent play numbers? And everyone's come to the game and they're like, this is just insane. I mean, it's a game. Like I said at the top of this video, it is not a platform to sell you a load of bullshit cosmetics, which is what a lot of modern games can feel like. And I think as well, especially to like a certain subset of players, I don't know whether it's just me getting older now, but I literally ain't got no patience for that shit. You know, I look at updates to games like Overwatch and I'm like, guys, we're just adding skins to the game. And most of them are recolors, but all we're doing is adding skins. We're making events around skins to sell you. It's like, there's no content. That ain't content. That's just skins. It's like, what the hell? And I hate it. I hate that that's heavily incentivized, especially with live service games. But yeah, I think that's the main issue, right, with Space Marine. It is a game and it is fun, but it does have other systems. And let's talk about some of these systems because I've been diving into these recently, and actually one of them is really good. So you do have PvP. Now, the PvP, it's not balanced. It's never going to be balanced. It's just a fun mode to go and fight some Chaos Space Marines, or, you know, you're the Loyalist Marines, and you can, or you're the Chaos Marines, I should say. You can go and fight some Loyalist Marines. You've all got the same weapons, essentially. You know, different takes. Like, got a Chaos Chainsaw, whatever. You know, they're all essentially the same weapons. It's clunky. The game clearly isn't really built for this. It's glued on. It's tacked on. But guess what? I should say guess what, not get what. I don't even care. I actually think it is kind of cool that that is there and it is an option because you can jump into it, you can have a little bit of fun, you can mess around. Like I said, it isn't the main reason why people are going to play this game because that is PvE, but it is still cool that it is there and it is nice to be able to go and do it. And actually, you can get some pretty fast unlocks if you go through the game modes really quick because PvP, generally you can kind of crank through the games a bit faster than you can in the operations mode, which is what we're going to talk about now because this is the killer feature of this game, and it's what's going to keep us playing the game over and over again, provided they can keep adding content to it. But guess what? They've actually got a roadmap where they're going to, well, add content to it, which should be good. Let's take a look at this, though. So this is the main progression in the game, and this is the reason why the game could potentially have a pretty good long-term, I guess, player base. So what we've got here, and a long-term future as well, which is what we want for the game. So you've got operations, that's the main one. We'll get onto that in a second. You can replay campaign missions with other players as well in multiplayer, which is cool. You've also got Eternal War, which is the PvP, as we spoke about earlier on in the video. But also this, right? So operations is cool because the first thing you've got is the different difficulty settings in this mode. So you've got threat minimal, which, by the way, isn't a cakewalk. You still need to pay attention to what you're doing in this mode. But then it's recommended level 5 for average, recommended level 10 for substantial, and ruthless, it's recommended level 15. And you can see there's a bunch of different modifiers. Now, you can go into whatever difficulty you like, but it will say, hang on, if you're not the level, we don't recommend you do this. And the reason why is, well, I'm going to show you guys now. Actually, before I show you that, this, I guess, is the issue with operations. There's only 6 missions so far, but they have pledged to actually add more of these. So we need... Honestly, this is going to sound insane. We need another 6, another 6. You know, we need loads of these. The more of these they can add, the better it will be. And yeah, I mean, I've got no qualms with buying that as DLC either. Like, just give it me. It would be insane. So what we're going to do is move down to the armory. And by the way, I believe this armor I've got equipped might possibly be from like the earlier access version of the game. It is because this is a review version of the game I've got, which was given to me by Focus Entertainment. And obviously, I think it just turned into the early access one or whatever. So that's why I've got it. But I would have been against buying this in the first place. Don't get me wrong. So this is, I guess, where... Well, we can look at this. So we've got heavy, right? So I'm level 3 with heavy. Remember what it said? It recommended level 4 or 5 for the next difficulty up. This is because of the perk tree. So the perk tree is... well, the more you level up, the more of these sort of additional... perks you'll get, and all of them just basically add to your power. So you can see for the heavy, I've got restoration. So after killing 10 enemies in rapid succession, it restores 1 armor segment, cooldown in 15 seconds. Well, that's easy to do with heavy, because heavy is like using heavy bolter, multi-melter, plasma incinerator. You know, you're just killing massive waves of enemies anyway. And then the next core perk you unlock is when a ranged weapon is 50% overheated, which again happens with all of your heavy weapons. They overheat as you're firing them. Range damage is then increased by 15%. So you can see that's just giving you straight up damage buffs. And obviously overcharge there. Damage of charged attacks gets increased by 20%. Obviously, if you're using like a plasma incinerator, you're charging it up to fire. All of these just straight up add power to your hero or your class. Now, there are some classes, obviously, if you're not putting the time into them, you won't be able to, like, the level doesn't go across all of the different types of, like, so if we say, look at my tactical's level 4, which is probably not the best. Let's say assault, because I haven't played much assault. So assault is like, look at this. I haven't played assault at all in this co-op mode in the Eternal War. Not Eternal War, in the operations mode. And so you can see I don't have any perks available. So if I was to go into a higher difficulty with this hero, or with this class, I guess we should call it, basically, I'd need to do the assaults again, the operations again, to earn the perks to then upgrade my gear. Now, the other element to all of this as well is if we look at the heavy, you'll notice that my pistol, my bolt pistol, is now mastercrafted. It should be the same. Okay, so it's not the same, but it just requires 15 of the currency, which, you know, you generally get a bunch of that. So I thought this would have been shared across classes, but it's not. But yeah, again, this all changes the way the weapons work. You can see there's like the standard bolt pistol. This has got -1 firepower and 1 less accuracy than the mastercrafted alpha version. The mastercrafted beta version, well, that gives you more ammunition, if you look, more ammunition capacity, but less accuracy. And then it keeps going up. But you can see it's adding once again. So you've got the more fancier versions of them, and then you go finally through to Relic, and the graphics again look insane on these, but basically it's adding more power. So as you go through the levels, as you're going through, obviously you can add perks as well to the weapon. So there's like a bunch of stuff going on here. You've got versions, you've got perks, then you've got the perks for your hero, but it all adds powers to your class, which then you can use to take on the harder difficulties. So I actually quite like that, and I see myself playing this because, you know what, guys, all of this, it's like part of the game. I'm not having to buy credits. You're earning these as you're playing the game. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of very old Overwatch, where you just, you know, you effectively earn the cosmetics as you played the game, although this is a much better system. So the other thing you've got as well is armor. So I'm going to show you, I think for heavy, I should have a, oh, I thought I had a Imperial Fist, but we'll make one. So basically, armor-wise, let's go... oh yeah, because I've got this equipped because it's DLC. Let's just, whatever, let's just go back to that, and then we'll go chapters, and then we'll go Imperial Fists. Of course, you can customize your own chapter as well. You can go through... Oh, I should show you this as well, really. This is really cool, because it's got all of first founding and second founding chapters, and then it's got like Ultramarine successor chapters as well. It's so cool. Honestly, it's so cool. So you could just pick one of these if you wanted. I know a lot of people like to make their own up, but for me, I do like the Imperial Fist. So if I'm going to get the Imperial Fist armor, then what I'm going to do is, well, this is the custom armor. So I guess we can quickly show you this. So you can change all elements of this if you like, but I know a lot of you guys have already probably seen this in other videos. You've probably played against it. The point of it in this video is it's like, this is cool, and I don't want to say it's free because you have to buy the game to get it, but you can change stuff, and it's cool. This is what people like to do with Warhammer. It's almost like they understand the fan base, and they've given them what they want, and I really like that. But anyway, yeah, the other thing I wanted to show you is not that, is go into armor sets, and then if I want to customize this. So these are unlocks through playing the literal game. Like doing the operations, I'm getting unlocked. So that's the standard one, no helmet. I could have a Gravis helmet. Okay, great. Or I could have a Mark X Gravis that's been mastercrafted, but it looks a bit different. You see it's got a skull on it, pretty cool. And then they start, you know, changing in design as you go through. They just basically get more fancy, although actually you get a Black Town one. Black Templar? What the hell? I should be killed for heresy. Can be purchased from the Astartes heraldry screen, so whatever. Oh, there was more, wasn't there? I can scroll down. So there's like a bunch more. Some of these are DLC. you know, so whatever. But the majority of these things are earnable in the game, and you can look absolutely badass. I mean, if you look at the pauldrons, for example, I mean, look at the detail on these things. They're insane. Look at this. It's a literal Deathwatch pauldron. It's insane. It is actually insane. Look at that. Look at that. Give it me. But I've got to achieve victory in 28 missions. So look, it's like, But I don't mind it, right? I just don't mind it because you want to play the game and you get rewarded for playing the game. I mean, just look at these. They're sick. That is sick. That is actually sick. They're just sick. We could go on and on and on, but you guys get the gist of this. I mean, look at that. So good. Just so good. So good. You can change the style of my Iron Halo as well. Oh, yes. That looks sick. 26 missions. Oh, yes. But it's sick. This is really cool customization, and it's going to keep you playing the game. But yeah, we should probably talk about the roadmap now, actually, because this is interesting. Yeah, so let's take a look at this roadmap, because this is where the game's going in the future, and it's really cool they've got one of these, because it gives you a good idea as a player of the game, you know, what's actually coming to the game. And I think a lot of this, they do need to add to the game. So, free updates, we've got ultra-wide support, private PvE lobbies, and Battle Barge Sparring Arena, which would be pretty cool, because that's like a 1v1 fight area, I think, between you and your friends you could go for. Again, it's cool. It's nothing which is, like, absolutely insane and required, and also it could have like a training range style element to it, you know, where you get to fight against like bots, essentially test the weapons. Pretty cool. Also for season 2, this is coming as well in 2024, so you're going to get new PvE missions, lethal difficulty, so even harder difficulty, and a Neo Volkite pistol is coming as well, plus a new enemy, which I think is cool, because them adding new enemies to the game is a really cool thing to be doing, provided they're substantial and not just throwaway, but, you know, could be anything. Really cool. And then into 2025 for free updates, we're going to get new PvE mission, new PvP game mode, new PvP arenas, another new enemy, new PvP prestige ranks, prestige ranks, Battle Barge expansion. Again, you can see they're building on this. I really love this. And then into season 4, there's going to be the Horde mode, which everybody has been absolutely gagging for. Literally, it's just how long can you survive against endless waves of enemies. And for the Nids, that makes absolute sense, because they just, you know, their numbers are countless. Quintillions of Tyranids are rushing you down. You know what I mean? That's what I want. There's going to be another new enemy and a new weapon. However, there is season pass related content. So this is, well, you have to buy this, and season pass is available on Steam. This gives you extra stuff, and it does give you cosmetics. So, it gives you a load of Ultramarine cosmetics. I think it's for Ultramarine successor chapters as well. Also, Dark Angels, the Champion Pack, a cosmetic pack, and a weapon skin pack. So, and then in Season 3, so this is in 2025, one chapter will receive a Champion Pack, a cosmetic pack, and a weapon skin pack, which is the same as the Dark Angels one. So they'll just be, you know, they need to do Space Wolves, I think, for this. That'd be really cool. And another will receive a Champion Pack, so fair enough. And then in Season 4, you've got the same thing coming again. So it's like the Premium Season Battle Pass DLC thing, which is essentially what this is. Gives you, like, fancy cosmetics, which is whatever. But the free updates are all gameplay updates coming to the game. And I honestly think there's enough cosmetics in the game anyway for you to just crack on with it and get stuck into it. And don't forget, you can actually make your own chapters up in the game anyway. Now, there is one faction that's missing from all of this cosmetic stuff, and it is the Chaos factions. You can literally pick a bunch of standard Chaos Marine chapters, but you can't customize them in any way. I hope they bring that to the game. That needs to come to the game, and maybe they will at some point. But yeah, guys, I wanted to put this video together because this is a watershed moment in the Warhammer gaming universe, the video game universe, I should say, where we've got a game which is a truly AAA game, which understands its audience, which is breaking records, which is showing people that we don't need these horrifically, like, over-monetized games to try and break even. Just give us a good game and we will buy it. It's also, and I'm going to go out there and say this, it's not even a hot take, but I'm just going to say it, the fact that the campaign is like 9 to 10 hours, I'm fine with that. I'm actually fine with that, because I'm going to spend more time than that, way more than time than that, in the operations mode. Man, I might even spend more time than that in the PvP mode, but I doubt it. The operations is the mode that's going to get me. And when the Horde mode comes out, that'd be sick as well. So I just think we've got a really good game here, and I'm really, really happy that this game exists. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I've been Stylo, so if you enjoyed the video, then let me know what you think about the video, and catch you lot on the next one. See you soon.